Welcome to Dine and Dish, the podcast where hospitality meets real talk. I'm your host, Michele DiMeo, restaurant diva, serving up the stories, strategies, and behind-the-scenes truths of the restaurant business. All right, well, welcome back for another episode of Dine and Dish, and this is the Valentine's Day special. And for everybody listening, we're bringing back the Michele, Gennaro, and Vivi trio to talk about family and working together and what Valentine's Day looks like in the restaurant world. And with further ado, Gennaro, my love, are you on the line?
Yes, I'm here.
Well, hello.
Hi.
Another episode, another week, another holiday.
I know.
Working together and staying married. How about that concept?
Exactly. Hey, I'm still loving it. I don't know about you, but I'm still loving it.
Hey, this is supposed to be a Valentine's Day episode. So you have to love me at least for this episode.
Yes.
So I thought today we would talk about the pros and cons of working together and give the listeners some pro tips on what it means to work together and live together and stay married for, God, what are we going on? 18 years together, almost
Mm-hmm.
19 years. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, time flies.
Wow, time does fly. So I thought this episode we can kind of just talk through what Valentine's Day looks like in the restaurant world and
Mm-hmm.
pros and cons of being married. So before we kind of jump into everything, um, should we tell them how we met and tell our story?
Yeah, but you got to shorten it up, though, Michelle. Otherwise, it's going to take the whole 45 minutes just on telling everybody, when and how we met.
Okay.
So,
You want to take it?
no, go ahead.
So rewind when I was working for LA Weight Loss years and years and years and years. All right, I'll make it very quick. Gennaro had a restaurant next to one of my offices. And of course, for everybody that knows Gennaro, when he wants something, he gets it and he figures out how to get it. And he wanted me to move my office so he could expand his
Mm-hmm.
restaurant and make it bigger. So he walked into my office and he asked who I need to speak to get us out of the way, basically, in so many words. And they said, you need to talk to Michele. And every day, Gennaro called.
I was bothering you every single
Oh
day.
my God, you bother me every single day. You called every single day. There were so many times you called that every time your number came up, I hit delete,
Oh,
delete.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
I was like, oh my God, he's calling me again. Anyway, so message after message after message. So fast forward. Gennaro's getting ready to open Carpaccio Tuscan Kitchen in Annapolis. And Morton's had been across the street. And my very good friends called and said, you need to meet us here. Let's have a glass of wine. It's brand new. Come see the bar, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, I can't. But they talked me into it. And him and a very good friend of his had walked into the bar after working all day trying to build Carpaccio. And I was there with my friends. And he walked in, and his friend knew one of my friends. And he walked over and put his hand out like, hi, I'm Gennaro. And I looked at him and I imitated one of the messages that he
Mm-hmm.
left.
Mm-hmm.
This is Gennaro, call me back. And that was history. We've been together
Yep.
ever since. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It all started at Morton's Bar across from Carpaccio.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, what happens if you wouldn't have built Carpaccio? We might not be together. Actually, we would have probably still been together.
Yeah. I mean, when it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Yeah. Well,
We
what do you
would have
always
had a,
say?
a different episode or whatever, but we would have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do
we
you
would have
always say?
definitely met.
Put it out there and it will happen.
Exactly. Yeah,
Don't
for
they say
sure.
that all the time? Intention, intention, intention. Every single day or 3 times a week, I ride. I take a cycle class and I love it. I love to cycle. And
Mm-hmm.
they do an intention, like a dedicated ride for you to really 3.5 to 4 minutes to really focus on your intention. A lot of people do it in yoga and different types of activities. And it's truly, I really truly believe if it's actually Lori, one of the instructors said it really well today. She said, if you think it, you believe it. If you
Mm-hmm.
speak it, it will happen. So
Yeah.
it's almost like you believe it and you put it into your mind. So you want to stay positive, because if you put it into your mind, it then becomes words, and words then become action and intention. So, the more you put it out there, the more things can
The more
happen.
chances, yeah, chances you will receive it. Yeah, that's for sure. I really believe in that.
Yeah. You do. You do. And you
Yeah.
do that a lot with a lot of things. But let's talk. So, first impression. What was your first impression about me?
Your
You better be
my
nice.
first impression.
You better be nice, or you're going to be fired off my podcast.
Okay, first impression. I mean, of course. I mean, you're beautiful. Then after that, I found out that you were very smart too. And I said to myself, I said, I better not lose this one. So
So it's funny because I was going to ask you when you realized this was actually going to be more than business. So I guess maybe your intention was business as well.
no, no, not at all, not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want, just
Yeah. I guess
yeah, it wasn't for business. But then, I mean, you came in the
it kind
business.
of worked together, right? It was
Uh
like, it
huh.
was actually good timing as well, because I was working for the accounting firm. I had left LA Weight Loss and went to work for the accounting firm, and it just worked out that I was leaving the firm, taking a buyout with the firm,
Exactly. Yeah.
and it was just our paths kind of
And
aligned
then
at
you were
the right
traveling so much. I just didn't want you to travel, go away all the time. So, kept you all to myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to say to you all the time, I don't know if I'm swimming with sharks or swimming with minnows.
I know.
Swimming uphill. Restaurant business is definitely different than the accounting world. And my God, that was 19 years ago.
Yep.
It's crazy. So let's talk, reality of working together, because, there's so many husbands and wives out there and family members where they talk like, oh, I would love to work with my spouse and let's just do it because it'll be easier, and easier when it
Hmm.
comes to, holidays and vacations, and we're on the same schedule. And, it's that whole, um, how these roles are defined and respecting each other. But let's talk
Hmm.
pros and cons. I mean, I wrote down a few pros and then I wrote down a few cons, and I want to kind of get your thoughts. And I know this whole podcast I'm going to be talking because you're the listener and you like
Yeah.
throw
Yeah.
in your
I,
yeah. So I figured I better
it's
do my
always been
homework and
like
write
this.
some
I'm
things
the listener, you the talker. So you do your job, and I do mine.
Actually, that's one of the things I wrote down is roles defined. But talking pros and cons, I mean, it's truly important to really have everything balanced and honest
Mm,
and really break everything down. If you want things to work, you really have to understand what works and what doesn't work. So, here's the pros, right? You
mhm,
have built in trust. You obviously, hopefully, share a vision together. You should have a
You
deep
have to,
understanding.
yeah.
Yeah, right. Like if you
Hmm.
don't see the same future and the same vision, it doesn't work,
It
right?
will work, yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Especially for family and lifestyle and legacy, you need to have a deep understanding of
Hmm.
what wins and what doesn't win. Of course, strong loyalty across the brand, knowing
Hmm.
that you're loyal to your business as well as your spouse. And then, of course, understanding how to complement each other with their strengths and weaknesses, right?
Exactly, yeah.
you know so obviously, you would hope that both spouses have the same work ethic, the same intentions. I mean, I have a lot of friends that have worked with their spouses and they couldn't do it. It didn't work, and they just don't have the same work intentions or the same work ethic. And it's good that you and I are both really hard workers, and we're not afraid to roll up our sleeves and get our hands dirty. Like, you get it,
Right. We are lucky, yeah, yeah.
we're lucky that way. And um, it's going to be funny to see what Vivi says about us, because at the end of the show, we're going to bring her on and ask her questions about
Mm,
mama or papa. And it's going to be funny to see what she has to say.
okay, yeah. Of course, everything about mama. Whatever mama says, yeah, well, it's yeah, okay.
Well, that's not always true. So, what do you think, before we get into the cons, what do you think the hardest part of working with a spouse is? Because I'm sure you have to have your thoughts over 19 years. It hasn't always been easy.
Yeah. I think we know why we lucky also because we have a two different, you know, what do you call you more in the office and I'm more in the field. So, we don't really spend a lot of time together. I mean, can you imagine, if we will work together in the office
Side by
or
side, I think I would have to kill you.
that's from, okay.
I'm kidding.
So that's why we're lucky because, I mean, yeah, you spend most of the time in the office and I spend most of the time in the field. So, of course, you know what I mean?
Well,
you
that's
know,
not all, not when we have full service. When we have our full service restaurant, I'm in the restaurant a lot. But you're right. I mean, division of responsibility without stepping on each
hmm
other is so important, and that is 100% why I think it's worked for us for so long. I mean,
exactly. Yeah.
obviously, we've had our conflict and communication boundaries, blah, 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 blah.
Always, but that's just even in the personal life, you always have whatever little your own.
Yeah, that's true. But division of responsibility is so important.
Hmm.
What's really good is I do, more the operations, the legal, the accounting, like that kind of pieces, the OLI, putting together the documents for operations where you're truly that restaurateur. You see the vision, even though I'm the creative one, I like to do the design piece, but
Hmm. Hmm.
you're the restaurateur. This was your business. I married into this business. So, yes, I'm a salesperson and yes, I had the operational background, but the restaurant business was truly your passion. And we say it all the time, and I know you're going to laugh, but even my kids say it. Gennaro always drives looking to the left because he's always
Hmm.
looking for his next location. And it doesn't matter whether you're going to be 30 or you're going to be 90. I think you're still going to be looking to the left. You might drive a little differently, but
Yeah. Yeah.
but you're always looking for your next location,
Yeah.
Um, whereas for me, I'm looking at it as more the operational piece. Does it work? What's the hardest part of opening that business? You know what I mean?
That's right. Yep.
So let's talk cons, because I wrote those down as well. I mean, obviously, there's no off switch. When you're working together with a spouse in both business and you're married, like we always say, partner in business, partner in life,
Hmm.
it's hard to turn that off, right? Like work talk bleeds into dinner and weekends and vacation.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's all mingled together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the one thing my kids used to say all the time. Do you remember Alani and Maury used to always say, "Do you always have to talk work at dinner?"
Right. Yeah.
I think we've
Yeah.
gotten better at that, wouldn't you say?
No, we did. Yeah, we learned, and yeah, we learned how to separate a little bit. I think
Yeah.
we got, yeah.
I do. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the other conflicts overlap. Business disagreements can sometimes feel personal, you know?
Yeah.
So, is there a way to work through those issues without turning into marital issues? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
conflicts, especially if you're working side by side. We're lucky because we only spend so many hours each day together. Like,
Right.
we talk all the time, but you know, there could be power struggles too, especially when you have the same role. You have two
Mm-hmm.
executives in the same space. That's very hard. Roles aren't
Yeah,
clear, control becomes an issue. Ego can get in the way for some people.
that's right. That's
You
right.
know,
Yeah.
pressure on the relationship. Does the business pressure, like if stores are going out of business or sales are bad or, business pressures, how does that affect the marriage? That's a
Mm-hmm.
con, right? Because stress
Yeah.
can
Oh, for
magnify,
sure. For sure. Yeah.
you
We've
know?
been in we've been in good times and hard times. It's like a roller coaster. It's always up, down, up, down. And you just gotta pull through it. You just gotta go through it and make
Yeah.
it work. You know.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the pros and the cons. Look, for us, Jannar, you know what? The pro is we get to spend so much time together. I think that's the
Mm-hmm.
pro and the con. But, it really does work because we get to, when we need to take a vacation, we're on the same schedule. When we need to
Yeah.
be at, VV school, there's ways, we've been very
We
blessed,
work it
very,
out with each other. Yeah. To do.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it's yeah. It works.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, let's talk about Valentine's Day in the restaurant world because that's
Mm-hmm.
very different than real life. I mean, for so many years, Valentine's Day is probably one of the busiest days in the restaurant business for full service.
Yes. Yeah.
And most restaurateurs work. They don't
Mm-hmm.
take off for
Oh,
Valentine's Day.
absolutely.
They don't take
Yeah.
off for New Year's Eve. They don't take off for Mother's Day, busy holidays. I mean, look at last Mother's Day. What did you say, Jannar? I got there at 9 a.m. and I worked until 9 p.m. without even like drinking water because we were so
Yeah, that's
busy.
ridiculous. Yeah, but
But
yeah, we did it.
but Valentine's Day in the restaurant world looks very different. I mean, you're working the floor, you're in the kitchen, you're supporting your staff, you're making
Hmm.
sure that your diner's experience is the best Valentine's Day, the
Yeah.
best Mother's Day, the best New Year's Day that they could have, and you're sacrificing your own for
That's
that
right.
business.
Yeah, but
And
that, this is another thing that we're lucky on, because what about if I was in the business, you were not? You know what I mean? You would have been like, shoot, you know what I mean? He's got to work, and we cannot go out to have a nice meal or nice, romantic dinner, because I got to work, and you know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's what's good too. So we both working that night. So I mean, how
exactly.
many times we celebrate Valentine's Day, or even Mother's Day, like after after the actual days,
Yeah. We have.
Yeah,
We have.
yeah.
You know, um, it's funny because the last show that I just did and we had on, Georgina, my really good friend, she's always wanted to open a restaurant. And she
Hmm.
actually literally said during the podcast, I haven't opened the restaurant because I don't want to sacrifice my personal time. And
Yeah,
she said,
yeah.
I'll
I
leave that
heard
to
that. Yeah.
the restaurant people, because a lot of people in this business really understand it, but people that are not in the business, they don't get it. They don't understand
Mhm.
it. It's like, why can't you take a day off? Why can't you take a holiday off? Because if you're in that business, you don't get holidays off. That's not how it works. So it's definitely understanding how the holidays play into your everyday life, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
All right, so let's talk how our growth and growing individually and growing together has just changed throughout the years, because in the beginning, you and we're such A personalities. Like, I have an A aggressive personality and you have an A aggressive personality.
No,
And
I used to have an A aggressive personality.
what does
Not
that
anymore.
what does that mean?
I've changed it over the years. I mean, especially once we've been together. Otherwise, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
very. The both of us, we were very aggressive A personality. So yeah, because of me, we still.
Oh, because of you. there's no there's no two sides here. There is like my side and your side, and three sides.
Yeah,
Well, what do you say? There's three sides to every story: yours,
exactly.
mine, and the truth somewhere in the middle.
Hmm.
So, but I mean, through the
But
years,
we have changed. We have changed a little bit. The both of us.
I
Not to be as aggressive. Not, huh?
I agree. I think growing individually while growing together is so hard,
Yeah, you
and
have to.
you have to. You have to, or you don't grow. If you
Hmm.
don't grow individually and grow together as a couple, then you don't grow, and
Yeah,
you
exactly.
you let go of control, and then you lose who you are, and you lose the
Hmm.
relationship,
Yeah,
right?
you gotta have a lot of patience. You respect. You know what I mean? And yeah, and you need to learn. You know what I mean? If you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're right, you're right. Just you really gotta balance it.
And if you're right and your other side still thinks you're wrong, you just bite your tongue and walk away
Yeah,
sometimes.
that's what I do. So that's
That's
why
what I do too.
Oh, you know what? Don't even go there. Anyway.
Oh, let's see. And the truth comes out.
Hmm.
So I mean, for you, what's kept you grounded for all these years? Because I mean, we've done full service, we've done fast casual, we've done so many different restaurants in different
Hmm.
states. And, at one point, if we would have added them all up, it could have been 30 some restaurants.
At
Everybody's like, oh
least
my God,
more.
you
Yeah.
own that many restaurants. What's kept you grounded all these years?
Oh, you call that grounded?
Or crazy?
Yeah.
But think about that. What's really kept you, because it is grounded. I mean, we still work hard, we're still humble,
Yeah.
we still spend all of our time in the business. What's your mentality around, keeping that ground level and being humble and staying in your business? I mean,
Hmm.
what's really kept you going all these years? Because I
I
mean,
don't know. It's called it's growing up.
Yeah.
You learn stuff. Of course, you're going through, good and bad, and you just, in the end, you just got to take the best, and you learn that you have to be grounded. You learn that you have to be humble. You know what I mean? Through all the stuff that you go through in life, that's what you need to do. It's a learning experience.
Yeah. Was
If
it
you
being,
take it, you got to take the best out of it, and that's what I try to do all the time.
yeah.
And you do
What
the
did,
same. I mean, that's what we try to do all the time.
what did you have to unlearn? Is there anything that you knew that you've changed, or, like, what did you have to unlearn to get to where you are? Because, I mean, I'm sure there's been big lessons that have changed your perspective
Yeah.
on the relationship and growing and business.
Hmm.
Is there anything that you would change?
That I would change, not really. I mean, of course, I mean there is a lot of stuff that you would that I would not change.
Yeah. Would
What
you
is it?
change anything?
Uh,
A few things, right?
yeah, a lot of little things. You know what I mean? Now that of course, who wouldn't? You know what I mean? Change things that if they could have. But you really can't.
Yeah,
So that's all you got to do. Take the best out of it and learn from all the mistakes, and you even got to learn from the good things. So you keep on repeating them. A lot of people said, learn, whatever, always learn out of the mistakes, but you need to learn out of the good things that you've done too.
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of people always said, what I mean, learn from the mistakes, learn from the mistakes. Yeah, but I think we should learn even more from the good things that you do. So you should keep on doing them.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we should, who are we to give advice, right? And be therapists. But maybe we should talk about some tips and advice for couples that are thinking about working together, and
Hmm.
um, just give them our tips of what's worked for us through the years, and
Yeah.
maybe some mistakes to avoid, or what looks successful, on couples in business, and what we can think about. So I wrote a couple things down, and if you want to add, let me know. But
Hmm.
before you, let's just say, jump into bed together, or before you work together, because
Right.
you sleep together, you wake up together, and then you work together all day.
Right.
I think the first thing is being honest about why you want to work together, because love alone isn't enough. Like, if you
No.
say, "Oh, I just love my partner and I think we could work together because love is great," you are wrong. Because
Oh,
love
absolutely.
love ain't going to work, right? Because
Yep. No.
why do you want to work together? Is it convenient? Is it financial? Is it a
Hmm.
control issue? Like, because it's easy peasy doesn't mean it's going to work, right?
Right. Exactly. Yep.
Define the roles before you get involved. Like, who has a say in what? Who handles the money? Who handles the people? Who's operation?
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
you brought that up earlier. If you don't have clear roles, that's where there could be resentment.
Exactly. Yeah. It should be like almost like a contract, but just an understanding. What's your role, what's my role, and you know what I mean. That's you bring your forte, I'll bring my forte, and that's how you do it. I think.
For sure.
Like a couple cannot do the same exact. You cannot have the same exact responsibility. You agree with that, right?
Oh, 1,000%. Because
Yeah.
then you have a power struggle of who
Oh
answers
my
the
God.
question.
Yeah.
Well, that's just like they say in business, you never have an ownership or an investor that's 50-50. You do
Exactly.
51,
Yeah.
49, because
Mhm.
somebody at 1%, somebody has to be the tiebreaker. If it comes down to a decision and you have to make that decision, there has to be a decision maker, and
Yeah, but
there
that's
can't be
like
a
a
balance of
really
power.
business. But that's a really business. How do you do that in marriage?
Well, we're
What's
talking
this
about,
51? I mean, it's all 100. It's all 100%. At the end of the day, if you want to go home and not get beat up, you got,
oh,
or you know what I mean, or you know what I mean. It's
well,
yeah.
that's where you define the roles. I mean,
Exactly. Yeah.
what happens when there is a tiebreaker? What happens when, there is a joint decision to be made? And,
Yeah.
and then you have to be able to separate your marriage from management, because,
And that's
you know,
hard. It's a little hard,
it,
especially in the beginning. Especially I mean, like we said, we got so much better now, but we had some,
yeah.
head to
Oh,
head.
oh,
We did.
we've had
Uh
many
huh.
fights where I've walked out of the office and I'm like, F this. I'm
Oh,
leaving your business.
absolutely. Yeah.
I quit. I'm
There
firing
she go. And then,
myself.
and I go to myself, as she goes, okay, let her, give her a couple hours, and, she'll be fine. I learned this. So, like in the beginning, I said, oh my God, this freaking woman, she's crazy. But then, just let's say a couple hours, you're fine.
Yeah, but I don't do that anymore. You know what? It's age definitely changes your perspective of
Yes.
everything. You get
Yes.
to the
Yeah.
point where you don't want the stress, you don't want the conflict, and it's so much
Hmm.
easier to have conflict resolution and come up with a solution than have the stress of getting your
For
blood pressure
sure.
up and getting yourself
Yes.
upset, and it's not worth it.
No, it's
It's just
not. No, it's
it's
not.
really not. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, um your path is what your path is.
Hmm.
It's already been written. It's been in the book of life. It's in your book. God wrote it. So whatever's going to happen, it's in his hands anyway. So if you
Yeah.
think you're going to fight and blow up the world and make all these decisions, you're still, at the end of the day, your decisions are already kind of made. So why stress out?
I don't know about that, Michelle.
Well, I think
Like
you can
like you said,
influence.
God wrote it. No, God give you the tools, but you got to use it. It's the way you use the tools that God gave you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Well,
it's a hard work, and in the end, as long as you love each other, that's the first thing. As long as you love each other and respect each other, you're always gonna find a way to make it right.
yeah.
Right?
Oh, 1,000.
You gotta have a really, really strong foundation.
Yeah. And you need to know how to handle that stress. What happens when an argument, what shuts you down, what's going to reset you, what motivates
Hmm.
you. Like, talk through that conflict before it happens. So this way it doesn't turn into a big blow up, right?
Yeah.
And
Yep. Yep.
know that you need to protect your relationship first. If it gets to the
Exactly.
point where something is truly going to affect your marriage, that's where
Hmm.
you need to decide, well, what happens if the business fails? Is it time to walk away? Protect
Right.
your
Right.
relationship. Make sure love isn't
You
conditional
always
on
got to protect
success.
your relationship for sure. Because
Make
once you have that, you can always get out of any problem, any mistakes, any whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well,
But
you need to make sure love isn't conditional on success.
right.
Success should not measure love, and love should not measure success.
Hmm.
And if you remember those key factors, working together doesn't strengthen a relationship by default. It might
Hmm.
reveal issues or reveal things, but couples who succeed in business together truly work together, and they
Yeah.
communicate, and they protect the relationship, and they know when to walk away, and they know when to
That's
step
right.
up and make decisions and communicate clearly. So, you know, taking this information and really helping your business grow. And when we say business, if you are going to work together, your business is also your marriage.
Hmm.
It's not just the restaurants or whatever type of business you plan to get involved in.
Exactly.
All right. So, what do you think? Should we bring in Vivi and see what she says about Mama and Papa?
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. Let me see
Are you
what. Hold
scared?
on. Hold on.
Are you
I already know what she's gonna say anyway.
I was gonna say, are you nervous? Because we need to have a fun lightning round to bring in the wild card. So Vivi is our wild card, and she is a little mama focused. So I'm sure our Valentine's Day compatibility based on Vivi's answers might be a little skewed, but that's okay. We like that. But let's really see how well we know each other and how well Vivi thinks we know each other. So is Vivi coming in?
She is. Hold on.
Okay.
All right, come on, baby.
All right. We are going to bring
There she
in.
is. She's here.
All right. Hi, Vivi.
Hi.
Are you excited to be on Mama's podcast?
Yeah.
She's so excited. She can wait.
Yeah.
All right. So, Vivi, I'm going to ask you questions, okay? And you have to say, is it Mama or Papa and why? Can you do that?
Yeah.
All right. So, first off, why don't you wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day? Because this is our Valentine's Day edition.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Aw, we love you, Vives.
Yes.
Okay, so Vivi, who's most picky about food when we go to a restaurant?
Mama.
Oh boy, why's that?
Because you normally send your food back.
I don't ever send my food back. I just might not eat it.
You always sent your lobster rolls back.
No, not my lobster roll. Lobster. When we were on the cruise, I did send it back. It was hard. You couldn't even eat it.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't that
That
good.
was
Yeah.
bad. When it's truly bad, you do have to send some things back. But I am definitely the pickier eater, right, Vay?
Definitely.
All right.
hmm
Who eats off of everybody else's plate?
Papa.
It's not even that you guys don't finish your food, and I hate throw away food. So
uh,
that's why sometimes
Evie
I
is
even.
telling the truth.
No.
He eats
Okay.
everybody's food. All right. Well, then this is an easy question. Who actually finishes their food at dinner all the time?
Papa.
See, Gennaro, I found some questions that are not just mama focused.
Yeah, no, I know. That's good.
All right, Vivi, here's mama and papa marriage reality check. Who's always right?
Mama.
Yay!
That's
Go,
that's not
Vivi.
fair.
That's because she's scared.
No,
I'm
she's
kidding.
not. No, she's not.
I'm kidding, Vivi. Who's more stubborn, mama or papa?
Papa.
Gennaro, you're going to lose this round.
Yeah, I think so.
Who zones out when you talk to them?
Papa.
It depends what kind of conversation are we
I
having.
was going to say Papa has very selected hearing.
Very, very, very.
Very selective
Okay,
hearing.
Michelle, I'm sorry, but sometimes when you come to me and what do you think about this person? What do you think about this? What do you think? That's when I really, really, really zone out.
You mean you don't love
So,
shopping?
what'd you say?
You mean you don't love shopping?
No, not your shopping. I love my shopping, not yours.
Okay.
So, but anyway, what else you got for Vivi?
Vivi, who brings the calm in the house?
Mama.
Aviva, tell the
Who
truth.
brings the
Come on
chaos?
now.
Papa.
Oh, you know what? You're fired. You are fired.
I'm not fired.
Go find a place to sleep tonight. You're not coming to the house.
Okay, that's funny.
Vivi, that's not nice. Anyway, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. What
So
else you
Vivi,
got?
let's see. Do you have any questions that you would want to ask Mama or Papa?
No, give me more questions.
More questions. All right. Who's the most dramatic in the house?
Me.
Yes.
That's true. That's
Oh,
true.
Vivi brings the drama, right?
Yeah.
Who holds a grudge the longest?
What does a grudge mean?
Like, if you're upset with somebody, you don't
Papa.
forgive them.
I do. I do. I cannot let go. When I get upset, I get upset. So
Yes, we know.
you gotta leave me alone for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, you do. You hold grudges and your eyes change. I say it all the time. I always know when Papa has a headache, he's mad, something happened, because the pupils of his eyes change. You
hmm
literally wear your,
I do. On
oh my
my
God,
on my face. Yeah, I do for sure.
it's
I
so
cannot hide
expressive.
that.
So expressive.
hmm
So Vivi, you're totally right. Who usually apologizes first or pretends nothing happened?
You.
Okay, I apologize first, but you pretend nothing happened. So
Yeah.
it's a two different question. Yeah.
Mama. Definitely Mama.
Mama, what? What do Mama do?
She apologizes
She never
first.
apologizes, even when she's wrong. What are you talking about?
She definitely apologizes.
No, she doesn't. She
Vivi,
does.
what do we teach you though? If you do something wrong, to make sure that you tell them that you did it wrong and apologize, because it's okay to have mistakes as long as you learn from your mistakes, right?
And you apologize for it.
Right. Because you don't
Yeah.
want to hurt other people's feelings. It's important for, everybody to know what's right and what's wrong, right?
Yeah, I know.
mm-hmm.
Would you agree?
Yep.
Yep.
Good
So
job, Lee. Good job.
yeah, good job, Vive. See, I knew she would do good. And then let's see, is there any other question? Who's the better listener?
Mama.
Okay.
I think Papa tends to be more of a listener, but he's not a good listener. He listens when he wants to listen. Otherwise, he doesn't hear us, does he, V?
No, definitely not. He's always like,
When I do that, that means I don't listen, right, Vivi?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, you know me well, Vivi. You know me well.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
So,
I have some work to do.
so our podcast is coming to the end, and we always do these on holidays because it's so nice to bring family together and to be able to talk about love and family and what works and our business, and to show everybody that it is truly lighthearted too, that we love what we do. And the restaurant business definitely is a challenge. It's definitely stressful, and good restaurateurs make the business look easy even though it's not easy. So it's really important to know how to communicate, find the truth together as family, and have these conversations if you are going to work with a spouse. But
Mm-hmm.
working together could totally be rewarding. I mean, look, we're bringing Vivi into our reality show. We're getting ready to launch the family, DiMeo Dynasty, and our reality show. And there's so many fun things that we can do together, right, Vives?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what would you say, V, after, I mean, I was going to say after all these years, but you only have 6, almost 7 of them. Why do we keep choosing us? Like, why do we do things together? What do you think the biggest thing is, V?
To bring family together?
Is our final closing question. What do you think is the best thing that we do as a family?
Don't know.
You
Maybe
don't
love each
know.
other.
What'd you say, Gennaro?
I said love each other.
Yeah.
Nope.
Love always
Yeah.
wins.
Not true. Not true.
Love always wins. So marriage and business can definitely coexist, but you need communication, you need respect, you need boundaries, you need a shared vision, and you need
Mm-hmm.
love, right, Vive?
Exactly.
Isn't that what Valentine's Day is about?
Yeah.
Love, right?
Mhm.
Vive's not sure.
Give me more.
Hey, Vive.
Yeah, she wants more questions. Okay, she's
All right,
she's
she's
she's getting
done.
done. Yeah.
Hey, Vive. So how about you come back and we do a Vivi's birthday edition?
Yay!
Will you come back on and be my guest for your birthday?
Yeah, but no Papa.
Okay, we'll do a mother-daughter birthday podcast. What do you think?
Okay.
You've been wanting that, right?
Yeah.
That'll be cool. Yeah.
I asked you that today.
You did. All right. Well, folks, thank you so much for listening. This is our Valentine's Day edition. And as always, DMs are open. We love to hear from you. And we have so many new followers and so many new amazing guests. You can always email at restaurantdiva.com as well. And Gennaro, any closing words?
No, just a happy Valentine's to everybody.
Happy Valentine's.
Have a safe one and good one.
Yeah, I agree. And for everybody out there, enjoy your loved ones, hug them tight, and have the best Valentine's Day ever. Thank you all. And V, I'll see you soon. Love you guys.
Bye. Love you.
Valentine's Day,
All right, we'll talk to
everybody.
you soon. Happy Valentine's Day.
Bye.
Bye.